Hi, I'm Janice Sanders, and I would like to welcome you to our second episode of Planting Your Life, the art of planting your life using seeds. Now, I'm here with my co host, Alix Rowland, and today our topic is going to be financial freedom. It's the first of the five goals. And, Alix, it'd be really cool if you could explain the five goals to our watchers today.
Okay, thanks, Janice. Well, I'm Alex Rowland, and I'm a realtor in Durango, Colorado. Janice and I have been using this system together, the Diamond Cutter system, and creating more abundance in our business and a lot of success in our lives. So the five goals are DCI goes around the world, and they've found that everybody wants pretty much the same things. And I have definitely found that in my life, I refer back to these all the time. I can put almost anything that an area in my life that I want to improve will fit into one of these five slots. So the first one is financial freedom. And that's one of the reasons why we're starting with that today. The second one is great relationships. The third one is perfect health, great energy. The fourth one is peace of mind, because you can't enjoy the other ones without peace of mind. And then the fifth one is that everywhere we go, even more pressing than meeting your basic needs, is how can people contribute to the world? People want to help make the world a better place. And that's the fifth goal, is serving the world in some way. So
Thank you, Alex. Now, today, Alex mentioned that we want to talk about financial freedom. And I know that I've used it to make my business successful, not only my business, but also my personal life. And there's some special ways that we want to talk to you about today that you can use this method of learning how to plant your own financial freedom. So, Alex, let me ask you first off, how have you used it in your business life? And then I want to also ask, how are you using the seed system for financial independence in your personal life? And could you tell us some stories that make it really applicable so everybody can understand that it's available to them?
sure. And that's so important, isn't it? That because if we hear about it, but we don't know how to use it or how we're going to apply it to our own lives, then it won't work. So
Right.
after I heard about the four steps, which are knowing what you want in one simple sentence, finding someone else who wants it, helping them get it, do it, and then being happy about the seed you planted, I looked at my life and just thought about, where do I want to try this system out? Because it sounds good, but I didn't know if it would work or not. So the first place that I tried it was with my business income, because my business income was very up and down. Real estate tends to be like that. There'll be a busy market and you get a lot of commissions and your bank account builds up. And
Mhm.
my business partner and I started business about 10 years ago, and this is what would happen to us. And then there would be a slow patch, and we would end up spending all our savings, and our money would dwindle down, or we might even go into debt. And then it would come back around that we would have a busy patch again. So it was very unreliable, and it was really stressful because I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my bills. I remember actually, it was the second year that we were in business, and my finances were so bad that my business partner, I found out later who it was. Well, so the way it happened was, it was Christmas and I had no money. So I went out onto my porch and someone had left food, a couple of bags of food on my porch for Christmas dinner. I was kind of embarrassed. It turned out it was my business partner. And I really am very thankful to her that she wanted to take care of me. But that's how, so things were tight, just put it that way. That's what I wanted to apply the seed system to. So what I decided to do was use my business partner as my seed planting partner. First, I decided that I want to have level income and income that supports and pays all my bills. Then I found small ways to help my business partner meet her financial goals and pay her bills. We each had our own aspects of the business we were working on. So I helped her with the things she was working on, tried to make sure to support her so that her deals would be more successful. I also brought her things in little ways. So, sorry.
Mhm.
Like bringing her a coffee, paying for lunch, just trying to make her life more abundant with little gifts and things like that. So now my business is much more successful. We doubled our business over the years, and we grew our team bigger. One of the things we did as we grew our team is we continued to profit share with everybody on the team. And that's one of the seed ways that I think has made our real estate team so successful, is that everybody on the team gets a portion of everybody's income. So when I'm doing something and making money, I know that there's 3 other people who are getting a piece of that income as well. So I can really be happy when something goes well in my personal business. And don't forget to do the coffee meditation, right, Janice?
Yeah. So Alix, would you say that it was your intention of sharing your what you had, like sharing whatever you had, no matter what the amount was, that made the difference in your income from being where people had to give you food to now being a very successful real estate person?
Mm-hmm. Intention is really important. I think it's a good time to recall the 4 laws of seeds, because any action that we do is going to fall into and be subject to these 4 laws. So the first law is that like makes like. So that means if I plant a watermelon seed, for instance, then I'm going to get a watermelon. I'm not going to get bananas, right?
Great.
So if I give money, then I'm going to be getting abundance back. Or if I give food, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to give an apple and I'll get an apple back, but it's this intention, like you said, I'm wanting someone else's life to be more abundant and more fun and easy. The second law is that seeds grow. And this is really important because people and myself, I might wonder, well, if I only have $10 and I give 5 away to get 5 back, why didn't I just spend the $5? There was no reason to give it away. But seeds grow, just like the watermelon seed you put in the ground, and you might have 10 watermelons from that one plant. So it gets bigger and bigger. That's the law of seeds, just like an acorn makes an oak tree.
So that coffee meditation is super important too, right?
Right. And that's where the coffee meditation comes in, because we don't know when our deeds that we've done will come to fruition. They could come to fruition 20 years from now. And there might be other seeds in the way, which we'll talk about later. But for now, focusing on the 4 laws, the third law is if you don't do an action, you won't get a result. And if you do an action, you will get a result. It just means that it's definite. And if you want to make a change in your life, you do have to take an action. It also means that if you're seeing something in your life now, then you definitely did something in the past to create the result you're getting now. And maybe, Janice, you'll talk with us a little bit about the financial situation that we're experiencing right now.
Right. I was just thinking about that. When we're filming this today, we're right in the middle of a coronavirus quarantine. So Alix and I are not meeting in person because we're honoring that, and we want to be part of the cure, not part of the problem. But I've been in business a long time. I don't want to tell you how long, because then you'll guess how old I am. Anyway, I've been in business a long time. And if anybody out there listening has been in business, they know, like Alix, it's like this, a roller coaster. You have a good year and it's followed by a bad year. The last few years, I've had crises in business after crisis. A couple years ago, we had a raging forest fire that lasted most of the summer, and it took away probably about 30% of my income, because my store went from, a significant number of sales a day to 1 sale a day. And I was losing money because I really valued that I wasn't making money, but if I laid off my employees, they weren't making money. And I have the ability to keep them employed because I've been in business so long. I just realized that if I want to make a profit, even on a really bad year, that I have to honor other people and take care of them. So that's been my system. Anytime that there's a bad year and you think I've got to tighten up, tighten up that belt and not share as much, that's the wrong way to do it. if I want to be profitable, I have to keep the money flowing. I have to circulate it, take care of the people who help me, even in good times and in bad times. And that's what I'm doing right now in the coronavirus. I am still employing and paying my employees, although no one is at work. I'm still paying them. I'm giving them a week's full pay, and then if they're off for 3 weeks, they get 3 weeks. They'll get 2 weeks full pay. It's prorated, but I am still paying them because they still have bills to meet, just like I do. And I know that that intention of keeping the money going is going to plant very powerful seeds for me to have a good year. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's important for me to realize, and for all of us to think about, how we're planting seeds all the time. So if we have the intention of keeping others food on their table, their rent paid, and their expenses met, then we are planting seeds for ourselves to meet our needs. And I just really want to, stress that, because I think it's super important. And it's worked for me multiple times, even in that bad year when I missed July, which in the month of July, my sales account for about 40% of my year income. I still had a break-even year, which I think is darn good. So, I just encourage you to try these systems that we're talking about. And I'm hoping that by listening to our experience with it, you'll be more tempted to test it for yourself.
Yeah. I was also thinking about the small ways that we practice
Yeah.
generosity. I know you do this as well, and just looking for opportunities to give someone a tip, or if someone is asking for money on the street. I took some power bars to someone the other day who was needing some money. I was really happy. My boyfriend told me yesterday that he ran across someone who needed gas and had a gas can, and he drove him to the gas station and helped him get gas and took him back. And just those little ways that we can look for to help people, because it's not only our money that we can be generous with. We can be generous with our time also. Just being available for people who need company or need help with something. So there's a lot of little ways that we can change the way we think. When the old way is when we have less, as you were saying, Janice, we want to kind of tighten up. So it's fun, and it really works to try to counteract that. When you feel yourself wanting to tighten up, do the opposite. And it doesn't have to be something big. You don't have to go give away. In fact, it's really important that you don't give away something that you would regret giving away, right? We want to be we want to be really joyful. So even if it's 25 cents USD, it's not very much money. I don't know where you're listening around the world, but 25 cents doesn't buy much these days. But it's it's a little bit, and as long as you remember to be happy about it, it's definitely going to grow and make more abundance in your life.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention this week, since we're all, restricted to our home, I have been going to the post office, mailing packages to people. I've had more time, and I mailed a check to my niece because I wanted to loosen that belt. And so I mailed a check to my niece who really could use the money. But I also mailed her a box, and in it she has some children. And I think just the thought of mailing her that box with little things in it made her and her children so much more happy than having given her money. So that goes back to, it's the small things that we do. And, they get big results. I sent a coloring book and an origami book, and they were much more excited about that than grocery money. So it's the small things. They grow. Just like Alix said when she explained the 4 laws of karma.
Yeah.
Of seeds.
I'm also thinking that we could touch on the subject of don't try to guess.
Good one.
What happened with me with my business plan of growing my business income through helping my partner is our business did do much better, but I also started getting money from unexpected sources. And checks still have been coming in the mail to me that I never knew that I would ever get. And one of the big checks that I got early on when I started doing the 4 steps is my mother needed to be put into a home because she was ill and her apartment was sold, and the money just went to the children. And she had bought an apartment in Brooklyn many years ago for not much money, and it had grown. It had grown, like seeds do, to be quite a bit of money. And I was able to pay off my house. So when you own your house free and clear, what a stressor that is to have off your plate. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay a mortgage. So, I really believe in that. And it's important to not think that you can only get money through one avenue that you might be used to getting it from. The world out there is unlimited possibility of where money might come from.
Yes, thanks, Alex. Now, one last thing I want to point out is your intention is super important, because you might think about it, you're doing things all the time, but you're not understanding that that's what's creating your reality. Now, we taught the pen last on our first production. So if you actually understand that what you're doing is a cause that's going to create an eventual result, if you do this and you think about that when you give someone an extra dollar at the coffee store, when you give them a tip, that's going to grow the seed much more strongly. So hold that in your mind when you do anything you do.
Right. And during coffee meditation, when we're happy about what we did during the day, we can also remember that we're using a new system to make the world a better place.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to talk about financial freedom for our not only, well, we're going to talk about it more for our businesses and how we can take care of our businesses if you're in business. And that's going to be our next session. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.